The following Steam review was written for the game FlipWitch, Forbidden Sex Hex.
TLDR, pretty propitious platforming porn. This is a game that's been on my radar for a while when it popped on my feed, partly because of the pixel art, but primarily because I like gender-bending porn. Honestly, I initially only expected to play for 3 or 4 hours at most, leaving it unplayed for several months to a year and a half, intending to continue playing. Then I'll install it because I hadn't continued to play and to clear up space for another game's absurdly large content update as a result of modern corporate developers' lack of awareness and or concern for gamers with low to mid-tier gaming setups. Alas, I digress. Continuing on my review of the game before my mini tangent about the complaints of today's gaming industry, I played for more than 3 or 4 hours. In fact, I started playing around 1900 local after I was forced into playing Pokemon Showdown free-for-all randoms at gunpoint for several hours after being forced to play Don't Starve Together for several hours at knife point, and inadvertently causing a rollback after going AFK and causing an explosion at camp which led to being forced into Pokemon Showdown. And I played for several hours. I went through the different areas and completed as many quests, discovered as many secrets, and unlocked as many H animations as I could before I got bored. When I next looked at the clock, it was 0600 local. By this point, I had reached the final stage, and decided to continue it tomorrow. By tomorrow, I meant after I slept for a bit. My eyes, weary. My body, sore and in pain. My throat, dry. My electricity bill, higher than I like it to be. But I was satisfied. Not only did this game satisfy my lust for gender-bending scenarios, but it scratched an itch I did not know I had. An itch for a decent Metroidvania. The last true Metroidvania I played was Castlevania Portrait of Ruin for the Nintendo DS when I was in middle school, and it's been at least 10 years since middle school. Beneath the porn and excessively bouncing boobies presented in this title, there's a game that's been made with love. Ha ha. This game is surprisingly well crafted that brushing it off as another porn game would be tantamount to a minor crime, like jaywalking. Ignoring the curvaceous friends and foes, the art is beautiful, and what little voice acting existed was very well executed. I would die intentionally when I was about to beat a boss, not because I'm bad or anything, but to allow the boss to continue having life. Their voice lines I enjoyed hearing, with their unique accents and their animations smooth and detailed, in particular areas. Transitioning between genders is also a seamless experience, and not as chunky as one would expect, with each gender having their own unique animations when performing certain non-lewd actions. The soundtrack for this game is also immaculate. I found myself bopping to the Ghost Castle's boss theme, and would spend extended amounts of time in the Demon Club, just vibing to the BGM. I do not know if this game's soundtrack is available on any streaming platforms, but I pray I can find these tunes online, lest I whip them out from their guts and upload them onto my personal server. Hypothetically, Mr. FBI Man. I want these soundtracks on my playlist alongside Ain't Nothing Like a Funky Beat, Loon Boon, Air of Grief, and others. Despite all this praise, this game is not without its faults, for even this planet we live on has its own imperfections. Initially, I encountered difficulties battling and navigating as I had been spoiled rotten by other platformers. I did get the hang of it after a bit, but it took longer than I'd like to admit. There were also moments where I found myself stuck on a corner somewhere and had to wiggle my way out. Overall, movement could be smoother, but it is still satisfactory. A feature I do not know if it is being added, but would be convenient to have, is a completion rate indicator or a tracker. As of this review, I have completed all the quests, I think, collected all the costumes and collectibles, the latter two I only know because of achievements, and the first uneducated guess based on costume collection completion. I would also like to know how many items that exist in the game I have collected, and how many are missing, as well as exploration completion and a catalog of enemies encountered and or defeated. A surprising disappointment I encountered was the lack of a sound page. I do not know if I am blind or stupider than I think, but I could not find a place in-game or in the menus to play back titles from the game's soundtrack. Granted, I could sit in a corner of an area and enjoy it that way, but sometimes a man needs to relax in safety as he enjoys mankind's manipulations of one of the natural forces, vibration. One last fault is a lack of teleportation crystal present for the sewers. Sure, it may be stinky, but goddamn is it enjoyable to grind coins there. The Wets there are also still individuals with a home and a society. They dress themselves, meaning they experience shame from nudity, akin to Adam and Eve after eating from the forbidden fruit. They are capable of speech and reasoning, and to treat them as if they don't is inhumane and cruel, further proving Dr. Plague Doctor's point of being robbed of what others are allowed to possess. The damn mushroom people have won for Christ's sakes, and they're naked. The world ends with you. To deny these people and their society basic transportation may as well deny them their existence, and to deny their existence means to deny their right to live, and God knows I'm not denying those honkers. 3 nitpicks that are relatively minor coming from an individual as entitled as I, and can be ignored, have to do with the gallery. First, there are 2 animations missing that involve that blue chef girl who plays with her food. I believe this is to be a mistake that may be patched, and if true, feel free to call me stupid and delusional. The second is the lack of death animations present in the gallery. I'd rather not die in order to experience bliss multiple times, especially endgame, where intentionally dying to experience failure becomes a relatively arduous task. Last but not least, an in-game option to view the gallery. I do not really want to go to the menu to see if an animation unlocked, when I could instead take twice as long to teleport to a location and navigate to a scrapbook to watch these animations. All in all, FlipWitch Forbidden Sex Hex is a fun game I enjoyed achieving 100% completion on. It hooked me with its premise and kept me in a chokehold because of its contents. A fair price for what it has, and as a bonus, I got many questions, side eyes, and concerns from my friends when I started it up. Maybe this game allowed me to somewhat experience a niche fantasy of freely changing my gender at will, or maybe I am easily captivated by poorly cutters and tits. Regardless, this is a title I would recommend not just for the porn, but for the experience. This is a game that could hold up on its own if it did not have porn, but might have suffered without taking part in the common practice of commercializing horniness. Not unlike FNAF fan games that could stand without Freddy Fazbear, but succeeded because he was there to vouch for them. At some point, I stopped playing to satisfy the carnal sins of flesh, and played because I enjoyed it. I enjoyed exploring, solving quests, and observing attack patterns. I enjoyed attacking, and I enjoyed collecting. I enjoy women. Alas, all adventures come to an end, and this ending was bittersweet. I may have saved the world, but at the cost of my adventure. Then again, maybe the real adventure were the memories we made along the way. Thank God I live alone.